Is Sonic truly back? That's the major question on every Sonic fan's mind. Despite the setbacks that cast a shadow over him in recent years, Sonic has had fun games that made many think he was back on track to something great. And with Sonic Mania and Project Sonic 2017, there may be reason to think that Sega has figured out a plan for the Blue Hedgehog. But we really don't know that much about Sonic 2017, only that things are looking grim and classic Sonic is back, leading many to label this as Sonic Generations 2. But according to Sega, that's not what this is. So it's time to break out the old analysis machine to see what secrets and hidden details we can find in this reveal trailer, and just maybe get a better idea of what to expect. Right off the bat, we see that the robots terrorizing the city are huge, easily dwarfing most of the surrounding buildings with just its foot. And thanks to the wide shot showing the destruction of this city, we get a clearer idea of the scale as they're still taller than the highest point of the nearby bridges. The robots are also modeled after the Death Egg robot, thanks to its telltale egg-shaped body, the spiked hands, and the lapels from Eggman's classic cape. But this seems to be a mass production unit as they all have a single eye rather than a face modeled after Eggman. Speaking of the good doctor, he didn't appear in the trailer, but many have put forth the idea that there will be 3 different Eggmans because of the presence of classic Sonic and the fact that there are 3 robots. However, we don't think this will be the case. As we said before, these robots look like mass production models, so we doubt they even need a pilot. It may still be possible that classic Eggman will return, but there's nothing concrete to base that on. Taking another look at the robots, we may be able to figure out some of its attacks. For one, the arms are closer in design to the Death Egg robot from Sonic Generations. It has the same circular openings on either side of the spikes, though they appear to be open in this case. Is it possible that there will be some kind of secondary attack from these openings? We also see the spikes on the left robot spin, which is what the spikes did in Generations. This was a visual cue that it was about to extend its arm in order to stab Sonic, so we'd guess that these robots can do the same. And of course, right before the end of the trailer, 2 of the robots shoot lasers from their eyes at the 2 Sonics. So yeah, we'd suspect that at least one of them is going to be a boss fight, which may play like the Death Egg robot battle on a much larger scale and some new tricks. The trailer then shifts focus to show the entirety of the destroyed city. As we mentioned before, 2 bridges can be seen in the background, which is where most of the destruction seems to be focused. The city itself has a very common theme of windows with arches along the roof. The streets appear wide open with few slopes to speak of, though we will later see some. From what we can tell, this is a brand new city. It's when Sonic jumps down that we can see one of the slopes behind him with a bunch of rubble. The building behind Sonic on the right seems pretty patchwork though, with extensions jutting out from many sides. There's also some kind of sign on the front, though we can't determine exactly what it is. The basic shape seems bell-like, but the only notable bell in Sonic was the one in Lost World, which had to be chased down. We highly doubt that this sign ties in with that though. Later on, just before the end of the trailer, we see more of the state of this city. On the right side are tufts of grass poking through the city streets, so we'd imagine that it's not going to be all destroyed cityscapes all the time. More natural settings will appear as well. On the left side is a fence made of barbed wire and old tires that's mixed in with the regular fencing. This does lead us to wonder 2 things. Could it be possible that this destruction has been going on a while? After all, someone had to make that fence. And could the barbed wire be a hazard for Sonic? Maybe if he doesn't drift around the corner just right, he'll take damage from running against that spike fence. It would be a natural way to encourage better drifting in the game. We then see Sonic in action, which may provide a few clues to how the game will play. The presence of classic Sonic and the emphasis on stating that the development team worked on Sonic Colors and Generations likely means the gameplay will follow the boost formula. Sonic dashes out of the way before rubble can hit him, which seems like a pretty likely stage hazard in the actual game. The trailer switches to a profile view, giving the impression of a 2D Sonic stage. He's able to launch right into a slide dash to dodge the next bit of rubble before performing a short spin dash into his boost. While this could mean that Sonic will spin dash before his boosting animation, we see later in the trailer that he boosts without doing that. so it's possible that the perfect slide could reward Sonic with even more speed, encouraging players to perform well to go even faster. But we're really not sure. It could just as easily be visual flair. Sonic then begins to weave between the foreground and background to dodge the incoming rubble. Could this indicate that Sonic will be able to change planes while in 2D sections? It could be similar to how Sonic can dash between lanes to dodge lasers or enemies in 3D. After all, Sonic even has to jump at one point because the next bit of rubble blocks the entire street. After Sonic is saved by Classic Sonic, we can see that he's much closer to one of the bridges, meaning he's covered a lot of ground very quickly. So yeah, he's moving pretty fast. As the two hit the ground running, we see another slope behind them, giving us an idea of what the city could be like. It seems to have long, flat areas that drop every so often. It's also a normal city with none of the loops or curves that can often be seen in Sonic levels. Based on everything we've seen of the city, the architecture, the bridges, and the layout, we believe it may be inspired by New Orleans, though the connection in many cases is very loose. But the cool moment here is the fact that this shot is a direct callback to Sonic Generations. It may not be a sequel, but it's definitely taking inspiration. Finally, just before the trailer ends and the robots fire their lasers, we see Sonic perform his boost, and right after him, Classic Sonic does the same. It's not a spin dash, Classic Sonic can boost as well, which makes us wonder if Classic Sonic will be playable in 3D, or if his stages will be going in a slightly more unique direction rather than trying to emulate the classic gameplay exactly. Only time will tell, but we are intrigued by the tagline, "Join the Resistance." It could simply mean the Sonics are resisting Eggman's rule, or there could be a much larger group working together to stop him. If it's the latter case, then it may be possible that there are more playable characters than just Sonic and Classic Sonic. But we're just spitballing because that tagline really can be interpreted in so many ways. Our main takeaway from Project Sonic 2017 is potential. The feelings that the trailer is trying to evoke are coming in loud and clear. Sonic Team is returning to the boost formula, and they're going to have at least a slightly more serious plot. But the question remains whether they can pull it off. More than a year of development is left though, so there's plenty of time for them to get Sonic right. And as soon as they show off more from this upcoming game, we'll be there to cover it. Of course, if we missed anything, let us know in the comments. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to keep up with everything we do. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned to Game Explained for more on Sonic, including our analysis of Sonic Mania and other things gaming.